Oh, hello and welcome to our show. Just reading the Washington Post this morning. Just reading the Washington Post this morning. Look at that. And it's that's Tom Petty and Tom Petty up Ann Coulter up. That's Ann Coulter. You know, somebody said there's WMAL. She's talking to WMAL there, and there's a big story about her. I guess that's the back of Chris Plante's. Is that the back of Chris Plante's head? Look at bald. Look, he's got a bald spot there. Look at that. I guess this is Chris Plante. This is the Chris Plante show. Look at that. He's starting to get kind of. There's a bald spot. Is that his? Chris, you ought to start shaving your head. Anyhow, I'm sure they're having orgasmic contractions there at WMAL this morning. We made the front page of the stale section today. All right, how you doing, everybody? It's the 30th of October, 2013. The big news from yesterday are the ratings. Okay, we got the October ratings out, the radio ratings, and so what's the deal? What's the deal, Schlemiel? In the money demo numbers, as usual, big news. WTOP is first place. TOP, again, they're doing fine. They're first place. They're second place in morning drive, and first place in afternoon drive, thanks solely to Hillary Howard. She carries that afternoon show solely on her own shoulders. But anyhow, so WTOP first place, Hot 99.5 second place with Kane in fifth. So that's no big news there. HUR in third place with Steve Harvey in third place for the money demo for the month of October. WMAL, Karen Mathis, who's leaving for a public radio station. She's the general manager there, leaving for a public radio station in Seattle. She leaves the station in good shape. Now, WAMU was first in the 6+ book, which is, everybody, which includes the old folks. But when you take the old folks out, they drop down to fourth. But that's still pretty good. But they're first in morning drive. They actually beat WTOP in morning drive in the money demo. Wash is in fifth place with Lou and Chili in sixth. W Big is fifth place, yeah. W Big, that's highest ratings I've seen in ever. I've never seen Big in sixth place. So classic rock, classic hits, whatever you want to call them. W Big in sixth place, doing very, very well there. WWDC seventh place with Elliott in third. Again, they're still doing great over there at DC 101. KYS in eighth place in the money demo for October, and eighth place for Russ Parr in mornings. WMMJ in ninth place with Steve their morning guy and stuff. It's like my brain is going. Like Tom Joyner in seventh place there. For WAMU. And rounding out the top 10 is WMZQ in 10th place with their morning show there. Bongo. What's his name? Bongo there, 11th place. So what is... And they're in a tie with WPRS Praise 104.3 at 11th place. So what does that mean? What does that tell us? The top 10? Who's missing from the top 10? Right, CBS. CBS Radio, again, for the month of October, and the money demo has no stations in the top 10, even though they have 5 stations in the Washington market, 5 major FMers in the Washington market. They have 5, count them 5, and in the money demo, 2554, both sexes, all 3 sexes, they have no stations in the top 10. Congratulations, Steve Swenson. Good work. But the good news for them is also tied for 11th place. 2 more stations are tied for 11th place, just outside the top 10, and that's Fresh 94.7 with 11th place with Tommy Tommy McFly in 11th place in the mornings, and PGC with Pablo in 16th place. So we do have two CBS stations, Fresh and PGC, just outside the top 10, tied for 11th place. So I guess that's good news. JFK, their highest ratings I've seen in quite a while, 14th place for them. That's pretty good. Nothing like nothing like how CBS is doing in Philadelphia with WIP, their FM sports talker, in third or fifth place, depending on the numbers you look at. But still, JFK in 14th place, that's good for them. 10th place in mornings for the Junkies. 17th place for Arrington and Dukes in afternoons. So I think Don Geronimo is going to get moved to afternoons. You just watch. By early next year, we'll see him getting moved, somehow incorporated in that afternoon drive show. I really think so. El Zal at 15th place. So the CBS stations are all kind of bunched up there, right? You have El Zal at 15th, you have JFK at 14th, and you have Fresh and PGC at 11th. But none of them are in the top 10, but they're getting ready. Who knows? WTEM at 16th place with mornings, Mike and Mike at 20th. WMAL at 16th place, also with their morning show at 13th. Now, if you look at them in the total numbers, the 6+ total numbers, they're actually in 9th place. But that's because they skew very old. So, if you don't count those 54 and older listeners, they drop down to 16th place. But if you include the old folks, they're up to 9th place. So I'm sure Bill Hess is popping a cork over there at WMAL for that one. WGTS 18th place, Christian Contemporary. Now here's some bad news again. Still, WRQX, all the hits 107.3 is still slumping post Jack Diamond. They're 19th place in the money demo. They're 21st place. Ouch! In the 6+ demo. So they're doing not so great. 21st place with Burt Weiss there in mornings. I think if there's a station right now in the DC radio market prime for a format flip, I would say 107.3 WRQX is probably right at the top of the list for candidate for a format flip. I think it would probably benefit Cumulus to just simply say, okay, look, we're getting our pants beat off by Fresh and by Hot 99.5 and by PGC. We need to just completely change gears here at 107.3 and do something different. A really cool live and local oldie station. DC could use that. I don't know. Could Cumulus do that? I'm not talking about plugging into the satellite to true oldies like they used to do on 105.9. I'm talking about having a real live and local radio station with a really cool oldies format. I think that would probably, you look at QSR out of Baltimore, even a Jack FM type thing where you're doing a lot of 80s and 90s oldies. Even in an automated format like that. Something like that would really work, I think, on RQX. Or, as I've said before mucho times, doing something Hispanic. Because right at the moment, with El Zal out there in Annapolis, even though they're moving their city of license to College Park, I think a Hispanic format, a Spanish contemporary and a Spanish English format, hits format, I think could do really well. And, I think there's a hole in the market for that. Or maybe even a AAA. We don't have a AAA here in this market, so maybe that's a good one too. So, but they need to do something different there at 107.3. 20th place is Weta Classical. 21st place is WDCM, the little Spanish station there on 87.7. QSR out of Baltimore is 22nd place in the money demo with ERQ. Also, two Baltimore stations are tied at 22nd place for the Washington market. 24th place is WFRE Country out of Frederick. Tied with Wink FM there in Winchester with Hot Adult Contemporary. WMAL Stream is at 24th place. Now, it'd be interesting if they would just merge their stream ratings with the regular ratings. They would do a little bit better. I don't know why they haven't done that because most of the other stations in the market have done that. WIRI 27th place. Where the hell's WNEW? BQB at 28th place. Where's Oh, there they are, tied for 28th place with WNEW. WNEW 28th place. CBS is laggard. The laggard station. At least the other stations for CBS are somewhere in the mid to upper teens, and poor old WNEW still at 28th place. How much longer can it go with no ratings traction? We shall see. How much longer will Steve Swenson be around? I don't know. I haven't heard any rumblings, but I just am thinking, I'm starting to think like Dan Mason. I'm channeling Dan Mason in my brain. It's like, what is Dan Mason thinking? Oh, he's up now. He's 3 in the morning and he's wide awake wondering, what am I going to do about my Washington cluster? Oh my. 30th place for WLIF. 31st place for KDV. That's a little Spanish station out in Manassas. Tied with WRBS AVA. Great signal in 33rd place. Good whoopee-doo ding-dong for them. Tied with FLS and WBQH, that little Mexican station on 1050. Waffy out in Frederick, 33rd place. PFW, hey, 37th place. What are you doing there? PFW with their kind of weak signal. WSPZ, 37th place. 38th place in mornings with that new Andy Poland show there. 39th place for GRQ and POC and the Eagle out there in Hagerstown and WSMD FM in Southern Maryland, and ZBA even gets the rating, the 39th place in the Washington market. So those are the ratings. Again, nothing earth-shattering. I'd just say that the top story tends to be the increasingly anemic performance there of WRQX out of Jennifer Street there. I think, as I say, I think if any station is up for a format flip, it would be them. Interesting, the Gamut, which we like a lot. The Gamut is such a effing cool little station. They play everything. I mean everything. You'll hear bluegrass mixed with U2, mixed with some Patti Page from the 40s, with the Andrews Sisters, and then you'll hear Kraftwerk, and then you'll hear New Order, and then you'll hear some soul tune, and then you'll hear, the Indian tribal chant. No offense to the Oneida Indian, but I'm just saying, they have this just wild mix of stuff, and they're all over the dial on all these crazy frequencies. They're on the HD3 digitals of WTOP's all news signals at 107.7, 103.5, and 103.9. They're on 820 out of Frederick, which actually covers a good chunk of the DC metro area by day. And they're now on 104.3 FM out of Leesburg. So if you're in Loudoun County or Western Montgomery County or Southern Frederick County, it's for 100 watts. It puts out a pretty good signal. In fact, when I'm driving around here in Reston, Virginia, here in Wild West Fairfax County, I can even hear them on the car radio. Can't pick them up in the at the home office here, but the car, it's a spotty signal, but it's definitely kind of listenable. And so really cool station. Check them out. All those crazy frequencies. But you'll be blown away. If you love music and you love a big mix of crazy stuff, I definitely recommend the Gamut. Dexter Manley utters the queer word there on WTOP. I don't know. Again, what are you going to do? What do I say about something like that? He shouldn't have done it, but that's sports people. It's locker room talk, man, and it doesn't belong on a major radio station. So what are you going to do about that, huh? Interesting, though, how TOP is playing that up. They actually had a front page, on their website, right up there at the top of the fold. There's a big story about the WTOP and Dexter's comments. So I think they're trying to hype that a little bit, which is kind of interesting. Usually when a station airs something like a mistake like that, or something gets broadcast on their airwaves that they shouldn't have aired, they usually try to downplay it, where TOP is kind of doing the opposite, which is kind of interesting. So anywho. All right, folks, thanks for watching Dave TV for the 30th of October. And don't forget to help support the website. We just celebrated our 16th anniversary, and if you make us a donation before the end of the month, which is just a day and a half now, we'll give you a year of Plus for $16. You get 2 years for $32, 3 years for $48. Even if you send it to me in early November, I'll still honor it. Man. But that deal will be going away forever, and I guarantee you Plus will never be $16 or cheaper ever again. So if you want to get a good rate, and we got a lot of cool stuff up there. Got a 1960s Orioles memory of WCBM. Lots of cool stuff. Some new stuff almost every day there at DCRTV Plus. And thank you for your support. All right, folks. Thanks for watching Dave TV. Book 'em, Dano.